get started with stretching. The first one we're gonna do is a horizontal wrist and shoulder stretch. So for this one, you're gonna extend those arms out and then extend the wrist. Now, an adaptation for this is if you do have wrist pain or shoulder pain, you can go individual, extend that arm out, and then just rotate it. So there's a couple of variations. I know we have different flexibility and range of motion. So hold it. You want to keep it 90 degrees and then really put those shoulder blades in. So you're going to hold it. The biggest thing I want you to focus for this week is breathing with this. So inhale, exhale. From here, in about 5 seconds, we're going to go down. So go ahead and relax the body, just shake it off. The next one we're going to do is a vertical wrist. So same thing. You're going to interlock those fingers, raise above your head. Now, an adaptation for this same thing is go ahead and just focus on the raise. If you have shoulder pain, then you can just focus on extension. So add breathing. About 5 more seconds. Good job, everyone. From here, we're going to go down. For this one, the next one we're going to focus is on our tricep muscle, so this big muscle in the bottom of our arm. You're going to bring that left arm behind your neck, and then you're going to lean with it. So it's a dynamic movement. Now, it's the same thing, shoulder or pain. The other way to do this is you extend that arm back and forth. A band works with this really good. So now it's not over your head, and then the side reaches, so you break up those movements.
I don't know if anybody can hear me, but if people could turn their microphones off, I'm getting tons of like interference from everybody's microphones, and it's hard to hear you.
Thanks, Michelle.
If everybody turned their microphone off.
Yeah, I forgot that step. I should announce it. So yeah, so same thing as you're going to bring that. Now you're going to rotate to the right side and then lean. So you're not only stretching your tricep, you're also stretching the obliques. Same thing for that modification. You break that movement. So you can go here with a band, and that stretches out the tricep without bringing any overhead movement. So about 5 more seconds. There you go, Yulene. So you'll feel it right here, the tricep engage. You can hold it, or you can keep doing movements. Okay, good job, everyone. Go ahead and bring those arms down. The next one we're gonna do is shoulder shrugs. With this one, I want you to focus on breathing. So as you bring those shoulders up, breathe in, and then go down. So go at your own pace. Some people really like to squeeze. Focus on just moving the shoulders. Go at your own pace. You can even do one at a time. Everything you do with this warm-up, focus on the breathing aspect as well. About 5 more seconds. Good job, everyone. Go ahead and grab some water. The next one we're gonna focus now is, I'll change my ankle, is for me, I'm not as flexible, some people are. You can put your hands behind your back, and just like Christina added, this is where you'll do 2 motions. So you're gonna bring those arms back and then just lean that neck to the side. Remember not to pass your range of motion. If you can't lock your hands, then you can just put them to the back. But some people are really flexible. If our shoulders are tight, this is like for me, my right shoulder, I experience tightness. So I'm not able to extend as much, and then just add the tilt. Same thing, deep breaths. In about 5 seconds, we're gonna rotate to the opposite side. So go ahead and start rotating. Good breathing. Okay. From here, we're gonna now focus on our wrists. So we use these, our wrists, our hands, and a lot of things we do in exercising, cycling, different variations. So I'll give adaptations. The first one, if you put your palms together and you're just going to slowly rotate that up and down. Same thing goes. If you have wrist pain or you experience pain in your hands, you can go one at a time and add support at the wrist level. So just rotating up and down. Go nice and slow. Make sure you're breathing. We got about 5 more seconds. And for me, you can hear my wrist pop. Okay, go ahead and bring those arms down. Next one we're gonna do is opposing reaches. So if I think everyone's in a seated position on the ground, you're gonna bring that left arm over and keep that right arm down and then just lean. Now, same thing goes if you have pain, range of motion, then you just bring it across 90 degrees. So based on keeping that arm down, make sure you're breathing. Leslie she's super flexible. She's almost out of the camera. So go ahead and come down. Now go ahead and rotate. Same thing. So right here, 90 degrees, or you can go overhead based on your range of motion. Keep that other arm nice and relaxed down. Focus on your breathing. 5 more seconds. Okay, come down, grab some water. Next one we're gonna do is trunk rotation. So for this one, it's our spine. I want you to focus on going slow, and same thing is breathe with it. So there's a couple ways. Some people like to put their arms on the shoulders. Some people like on the hips. It's your preference, on the knees, on your chair, on the ground. Biggest thing is just go nice and slow. Really engage, stay seated. Those feet are nice and planted on the ground. If you're sitting down on the ground, you can cross those legs and then just slowly open up. Yeah, so Bob is this one on his head. That's another one. Good job, Michelle. Good job, Afton. Good job, Jim. So you'll start noticing the more of this, you start opening up more, that flexibility. Good job, everyone. About 5 seconds. Okay, go ahead and come down. Grab water if you need to. The next one we're gonna focus, we're almost done. We have 3 more, is the back arch. This one, same thing, if you're seated on the ground or seated on your chair, you're gonna raise those hands and then you're arching that back. Now, if you don't wanna raise your arms, then just arch the back, lean back on your chair if you're on the ground. So biggest thing is just where you feel comfortable. If you don't wanna elevate those arms, then go ahead and just arch the back, relax it. We got about 10 seconds. Good job, Jim, Christina. And everything you do is breathe. Deep breath. 5 more seconds. And relax. Okay. Next one we're gonna do, I got this from yoga, so I'm not an expert, but is a cow pose. So seated, I like to place my hands on my knees. And basically what you're doing is you're extending those arms nice and straight. Bring it down, that chin down, and then relax. Same thing goes if you're on the ground. So it's just an extension. You're squeezing. Go at your own rate, really expand. Good job, everyone. Five more seconds. And relax. The last one we're doing today is for our hips. For this one, whether you're seated on a chair, on the ground, there's a couple ways for this. So if you're able to open up your legs, go ahead, and then you're just gonna hold it with your elbow, with your hand, with your wrist, whatever you feel comfortable. Now, if you're able to, if not, then you manually just open it and hold it. If you're on the ground, this looks a little differently. You do the butterfly, so it's gonna get that growing, that IT band, those glutes. So your preference, you wanna go on the ground. Biggest thing is to be comfortable while you're stretching. So go ahead and hold it. And then some people are real crazy. They'll put their elbows on it and they push down. I am not that flexible, but some of y'all are. So go ahead and get that good stretch. You got about 5 more seconds. And relax. Okay, grab some water. Now we're gonna go into the next part of the series is the second part of our kit. So we're gonna start going over the different type of balls. Just like last week, so Yulene, Bobby, I think they're the only ones that don't have a kit yet, I believe, but we'll make sure we send it out to them. So the first one we're gonna go into is our neck. So just like Christina was saying, Jim, there's a couple of variations what you can do with the neck. So for example, she said spiky ball. In your kit, I don't know, I have 2, but you might have 1. So the biggest thing with this, it's all preference. Some people like it firm, some people like it soft, some people like a lacrosse ball. That's the biggest thing with the kit, is to start exploring and what feels comfortable for you. And then we had a question about pain. So, and last week as well, the biggest thing is it should never, if anything, discomfort, because it might be that you have a knot, it might be that the muscle's sore, but we never want to feel pain. The first one we're going to go over is our neck. So for that one, I'm going to go a couple variations. So the first one you can do is you can hand roll, right? You can use now your hand, palm. That's the first one you do. You find that spot that just doesn't feel good, go ahead and roll it. The other modification for this is, like Christina was saying, you can place it on the wall, but what I do is I just lean on it, and then I can lay down, and then I control that. So that's the one. If you want to go on the ground, please don't go down if it's marble or wood. Make sure you're on a yoga mat or carpet. Now, same thing like last week, you can use your hand. The roller stick is another way too. Is actually, in my preference, I like this one more. And then for Yulene and Bobby, for the past few weeks, we've gone over types of way to massage. So you can knead, meaning you can go in a circular motion, just finding that spot. It's called kneading. Another way is squeezing. So you'll go in a C grip and then just squeeze the neck. And then the last one is called targeted pressure, which is now a little bit more detailed. Is just scan your neck and see if you feel any knots, any stress. And then when you find it, you just press it down for about 5 seconds and then you release. So those are a couple ones. So go ahead and get started on the neck. Like I said, if you have any questions, or people like Christina, she's done PT in the neck, by all means, ask away, Jim, if you have any questions. Biggest thing too is if you have lotion, if you want to use that to go ahead and get started, and just see the different type of balls you have in that kit and go ahead and explore. So we'll stay in the neck for a bit, and then we're going to move down to the shoulders. So in about another 30 seconds, we're going to move to the neck. Or shoulders, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I see Leslie's using the ball. Aston's using the roller. And then, like I said, you guys don't have it, but I'll make sure you guys have it, Bobby and Yulene. So for now, you can do, there's 3 types of massaging. So now I'm going to transition to the shoulders. Biggest thing too, if you want to stay in your neck, by all means stay. I'll continue and keep talking as we transition. For the shoulders, now this one, there's a couple of them. I would say for shoulders, since such a a big muscle and it connects a lot of other different muscles, is start off with something soft. Unless you've already done it for a while, don't go with something that's firm like a lacrosse ball, or there's some in here. So if you're able to, then you can start with your hand roll. Now the other way is if you have a chair that has support and then you're that coordinated, you can just put the ball on the chair. If not, the easiest way, especially with a ball, is you're gonna go down on the ground, find that spot, and then just relax on it. You can keep moving it around until you find that tender area. The roller stick is good as well because you don't have to go on the ground. You can do it here. You could go here. So that's another way. And then for those that don't have the kit yet, the same thing is now kneading. So kneading, remember, is circular with your thumb usually. And there's squeezing. So you'll do a C grip, then you squeeze on that muscle, nice and tender. Or targeted pressure, that's a little bit more detailed, is you locate, you just scan it, run it across, see if there's any bumps or any stress, and then go ahead and hold it down and release it. So a good way to get all the shoulders, I know Bev had a question about it, is you want to start under your armpit area because there's a lot of muscles that connect that shoulder. So you start under the armpit. From here, you go behind the shoulder, and then we're going to go across it and around. So our shoulder is made up a lot of different muscles. So the way to start is you can start in the armpit. I know Bev was saying she had pain, right? Usually we have pain here. So just you start relaxing those big muscles that help the shoulder. And you're going to go behind in the back, across, and then at the cap. So we'll give it about another minute. Go ahead and start exploring. If you have questions, please ask. Or we have, if anyone has. And then remember to focus on the other side of the shoulder, on the other shoulder as well. Good job, Donna. Good job, Jim. Please don't fall asleep. Okay, so make sure you grab water. As you guys are still going on the shoulder, I'm going to start going over the back because our back has 3 parts. So it's the upper, mid, and lower.
Gilbert, I have a question for you on shoulders.
Okay.
So I have pain back here.
Okay.
Too, right back here.
Yeah. In the back.
By the shoulder blade.
Okay. Yeah. So do you have pain just when you're resting, or is it when you're elevating? When do you feel pain?
Yes.
Yes to both. Yeah. So the thing with that is finding out if it's the pain when it's elevated, it's when it's extension, is it when our shoulder blade is rotating? So we can find out. So what you can do is just move it around and then see at what point is that pain. And then next week, if you look at it now, I'll do some research to find out what is some stretches we can do, either to strain that part of the shoulder, or if it's a muscle that when you do that, it's giving you that pain.
Okay.
So the next one we're going to do is we're going to focus on our back. So there's a peanut. There's this funky one in your kit. You might have it. You should have it. This is specifically for our spine. What it does, if you see it, it's 2 balls and then it has a gap. So this, if you have a chair that you can place it on, you can place it, on the higher part of our back, and then just lean back on it and feel it, test it around. Now, those that feel comfortable want to go to the ground, same thing, is you can place it, start on your upper back, just relax on it, Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, other people have used big foam rollers. There's long ones. So the biggest thing is just find what you're comfortable on. Okay, so this is specifically the peanut specifically for our back. The reason being is if you see the gap in between the two balls, your spine aligns on it. So what it does, this is the biggest thing. And same thing if you're in a chair, is you control the pressure you want to put on it. That's the coolest thing about these, is the pressure you enjoy, you put. Same thing as you go on the ground. Now that's going to be a little bit more work. Now, for the back one, that one's kind of hard. I would say just be careful with it. You can place it if your chair and then just lean back on it. Now, for this, the upper and mid back is great. The lower back is where we have to be careful, and we can focus on other parts of our body to alleviate lower back pain. So, for example, we could target our glutes. We could target things like that that cause that lower back pain. So go ahead and explore with the peanut. Now, for those that don't have the kit yet, it's the same thing. You're going to use, I would say, use kneading, so circular movement, and then just go. The upper back is kind of hard. You really have to be flexible. But Bobby, you lean, you guys can do it to each other. Is that kneading or that squeezing targeted pressure? And keep exploring the back. And I'm going to go into the glutes. I'll start talking about it because we're already gone over the time. So for glutes, there's a couple ways. So I would say start off with something that's pretty soft. There's different levels. If you're seated on a chair, you can continue on the back. Is you can just place it right on the glute, and then same thing, you control the pressure that you enjoy. Biggest thing, our glutes have 3 parts. So a lot of lower back pain may be coming from one of the weak glute muscles that is pulling on that back. So our muscles are interconnected. So that's the big thing. So you can sit on it. Now, if Christina's on the ground, you can go and same thing. And some people like to cross their legs. Now, this is more advanced. And then you lean on it. Same thing goes for the chair. As you continue to do this, when you progress, you're able to place it. And then you can lean. And that's the thing, is control that weight. You feel that squeeze on the glute. Now here, we went over last week, is the IT band. It runs on the side of our leg. This one, you hand roll. And then if you're really this one, I wouldn't recommend to lean on it. Our IT band is always irritated. So I would say just hand roll, use the stick just to run it across. Some people like to lean on it. I wouldn't advise it, just for my preference. But like I said, our bodies are different. We're flexibility. So remember, glutes, there's 3 parts. There's the maximus, the medius, and the minimus. So it's just 3 parts. But a lot of lower back pain, especially in cycling that we experience, is one of the sports, is that the glute muscle is weak, and it's such a big muscle and powerful that it may be pulling on that lower back. So same thing, you find the one that you like, you just place it under, and once you get really advanced, you can add that weight. And then it's stretching this part as well, the opposite side. From there, we did the IT band. Now, for those that don't have the kit yet, is you just massage, same thing. You use that kneading, the squeezing, or targeted pressure. But I'll make sure to send it to Bobby and you lean. From here, we're now going to go into our hamstring. So hamstring is a big, big muscle. This is where you can use the bigger one. So you may have one that's huge. If you're seated on a chair, same thing, just place it nice and relaxed. If you're able to move off the seat, move forward, you can use the roller stick to really get that big hamstring. And then if you're on the ground, this is where different tools. So this one I use it, I try to every day. If not, with your kit, you have the ball, then you just place it. Remember, you don't want to feel pain. You just want to feel that stretch. And then same thing as you can place that. And then if you're now using a roller, which is not part of the kit, but if you do have one, the way you want to roll is pressure and then side to side, because the way our muscle runs. So roll it to the side and you'll start feeling, you'll find that point, that tender point where that muscle's tight. So hold it right there. So for the big muscles, hamstring, quads, you want to use something more with surface area. So the kit may have a bigger ball. As you continue, we're going to go into our quads. Same thing is you hand roll. So the biggest thing is either palm, you can grab it if you're able to, if you want to do it with your forearm. Now, for Yulene and Bobby, in a couple weeks ago, we went over, is you're going to put your thumbs together and then almost press down and then open. So you'll start noticing, just massaging that area. This is a good for me. I like to use the lacrosse ball. And then if you use the hand roller stick, same thing. Run it angularly in the quad. So for me, my quads are always sore because of cycling. So I don't think that pain will ever go away, Yulene. So yeah, biggest thing is there's different tools. Like I said, the quads, think of big muscles to use a bigger ball for circumference area. And then anything that you think will cause, will be painful or it's really tender is where you want to use something that's soft. And then you build up to the different levels of firmness for each ball. So that's the thing, is you want to focus on right now everything being really soft unless you build up to it. For example, the calf, there's two parts to it. You can use, a medium-sized one. And for this, same thing, is either you grab it, use the palm. You can place it like Christina said, or if you had, for example, my chair is not the greatest, but you can also place it and then just lock it in there. Keep moving it and placing it on the wall. If not, you hand and you're just massaging that. And the other way is to go to the ground. The ground, same thing, is you're gonna use it. I like to try to find the spot where my calf is tender. You just let gravity do its work. And then once you get really good, some people cross their legs. And remember to rotate side to side. Same thing. Like I said, I have a lacrosse ball that's way harder. If you're going to use a foam roller, same thing. Place it right. So our calf has two parts, the gastrocnemius and the soleus. So you can start just putting gravity do its work. If not, if you're really good and once you get comfortable, you rotate side to side and you'll feel it right away. Like I feel it right there, that knot in my calf muscle. Now, for Bobby and Yulene, same thing is now you put your pinkies down. So together, you find the calf muscle and you're gonna massage up. To find targeted pressure is we're gonna run our hand across the muscle and see if you feel any bump or any knot, what they call it. And if you do feel one, you just press down 5 seconds and then you release. Biggest thing with this, so there's kneading. Remember, it's circular. Squeezing, you're gonna do like in a C grip and you just squeeze down. And then targeted pressure is where you're trying to locate a knot. And I'll make sure to continue to keep going over it every week. We went over it about 2 weeks ago. The last one, because we're running almost out of time, is our foot. So there's a couple of this. The spike ball is huge for this one, for plantar fascia. Like I said, there's here, Some people like to just, if you're in a seated position, you're able to, you can roll it. If not, manually. What that does is sometimes our muscles become irritated and it keeps our foot locked. So what you want is you slowly relax those muscles, relax the toes, so you can move it around. If not, manually place the foot. If you're able to, standing as well, make sure you're balanced, and then moving it. There's a whole bunch of things on the market. The kit just has some. I have an actual foam roller. Biggest thing is you can use different types of balls for firmness. So that's the big one. Now, if you could also move your foot, if you're seated in a chair manually, and then now use your hand, so it's a different firmness, you control more of it. So same thing. So those are the different muscles. We'll continue to go through the series of other ways, new techniques, and then we're going to start with the cool down. So if you still want to continue to massage, please do. Now for the cool down, we're going to start focusing with our hands. So for this one, you're just going to extend out, and I want you to just open the hands and breathe. You can have them here too. You don't really have to extend. So finger dexterity, we use this in a lot of things. OT, PT use different techniques. I know some people like to use like squishy things, and then they squeeze down and work on the grip, or they put those little bands that extend the fingers. So go ahead and continue. We use our hands a lot in what we do. From here, we're going to transition to that trunk raise straight up. Remember, you don't have to elevate if you do have shoulder pain. So go ahead, trunk raise. Deep breath. Then you're going to start rotating to the left. Good job, everyone. Deep breath. Rotate to the right. And just feel, you're going to feel that stretch all on the side. From here, you're going to go to the back. Or just lean back, you lean. There you go. Seated. From here, now we're going to go put our hands together. And then from here, go at your own pace. You're rising up. Remember, if you do have shoulder pain, back pain, or you don't want to elevate, then you just go here. But if you could fully extend, rise up, deep breath, and then breathe out as you come down. Same thing. Go at your own pace. Good job, Bobby. Good job, Michelle. Christina. Good job, Leslie. Good job, Eb. There you go, Jim. Michelle, Donna, Afton. And the last one we're going to do is now the opposite. So same thing, rise up and breathe. Remember, modification if shoulder pain, neck pain, then just do those shoulder shrugs. The biggest focus is we don't really focus on our breathing in any exercise we do. It just comes natural, but that's a big focus we have to start doing, incorporating, especially in stretching and relaxing the muscle. We got one more. And we are done. It was